So I am here with Will Vanderhart, who is, as well as being the Pastoral Chaplain at HTB, he is the author of the Worry Book, and also he is the founder of the Mind and Soul Foundation, which gives emotional help for people with issues of emotional and spiritual health. So I wanted to ask him about coping with isolation. What are the keys, Will? People are going to be isolated now. We're in lockdown. What are the keys as far as emotional health is concerned? Could you give us like 3 tips?
So, Nicky, I think the key to start with is that we're isolating, but we don't need to be isolated. Actually, that we are always connected to God. I was really comforted by Psalm 139. It says, "Where can I flee from your presence?" For me, knowing that God is with me in this situation, and actually, if I go up to the heavens, he's there. If I go down to the depths, he is there. He is always with me. And I'd say to anyone who's watching today that God is with you in this situation, that you might be isolating, but you're not isolated.
And I guess that also applies to connecting with other people as well as connecting with God.
Absolutely. And the key here to use your phone or your computer to keep on connecting to family members and friends. Try and dial in and having a meaningful conversation every day, but also try hard and not to spend all of your time talking about this virus. Spend time just relating, connecting, and remembering stuff that you've enjoyed together and looking forward. So stay connected. Remember that you're isolating. Brilliant. You don't need to get isolated.
First tip, second tip?
So my second tip is around gratitude. Sometimes when we're anxious, we can begin to sort of see the glass half empty all the time. But there's still things that we can do in this setting where we can be grateful. We can practice gratitude. And what we know is gratitude training actually changes our brain. It changes the way we feel every day. So we can kind of continually be pessimistic in a situation, in which case we'll feel worse. But if we can choose to be grateful every day, just for small things, it will change our psychological and spiritual experience. So try and practice gratitude. I was struck by Paul in Philippians 4. He says, "I've learnt the secret to being content in every situation." And he's talking about difficult situations. So I'd say choose small things. It might be your health, it might be your family, it might be your garden, it might be a safe place to be. Whatever it is, just keep saying, "I'm so thankful for this. I'm so thankful for this." It will really change your experience of the day.
I guess at times like this, we tend to focus on the things we've lost rather than the things that we've still got.
Absolutely. And that's totally normal. The key thing is that here we are, we're in a sort of situation of threat. And so we're always looking around for dangers, but we are actually a lot safer than we think. And God is with us. And so in your home, try and just to choose, even if you don't feel it, just keep choosing to say, "I'm so thankful, I'm so thankful." And so often the feelings of gratitude will come when you begin to say, "I'm thankful for this or this person or the NHS. Say thank you for the NHS.
So stay connected, stay thankful. And then what's your third tip?
Yeah, my third point is about catastrophizing. And this is really common. I struggle a bit with anxiety. And it's really common for me when there's a situation that's challenging to kind of go on into the future and start imagining the worst case scenario. I describe it about facing the problems of tomorrow without the strengths of today. And if you're tempted to do that, to start facing the problems of tomorrow without actually being able to use the strengths of today, you will find yourself really struggling with anxiety. And we're all prone to catastrophizing to a certain level.
Someone said to me that catastrophizing is when you overestimate the danger and underestimate your ability to cope.
I think that's absolutely right. And I think our ability to cope is in the now. And Jesus' teaching on this is really fascinating. And, everyone says, or Jesus says, "Don't worry." He's actually saying, he says, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself." He said, today's got enough problems of its own. And Jesus' teaching is actually very much in line with psychological tools like cognitive behavioral therapy, which say, look, apply yourself to the day, but don't try and apply yourself to what hasn't happened yet. And I think that's such a helpful tool, such a helpful perspective to bring yourself in to the presence of the day, to be grateful, to stay connected, and ultimately to remember that you are not alone, that God is with you and that you can connect with those around you through phones and social media.
And if people need further help, there's the Mind and Soul website. And if people are I mean, you're not a doctor, but there are people that that the Mind and Soul website will give you links to where you can get medical help.
Absolutely. We can advise people to connect, and lots of psychologists at the moment are offering free sessions online, and there's lots of opportunity for people to connect. So if people are struggling, then obviously use all of your NHS service providers online, but equally if you want help, direction, then you can use sites like mysoulfoundation.org to find some support and great advice around faith and mental emotional health.
Will van der Hart, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks so much, Nicky.